Hello everyone, and welcome to the OCASA Award Celebration and Winter Update from the Committee of Presidents. A few housekeeping items to mention before we get started with today's awards and update. All attendees are on mute. If you have a question for me or today's webinar speakers, please send it through the questions section on your GoToWebinar dashboard, or you can use the raise your hand feature to ask your question verbally. You can access the question chat box by clicking the plus sign next to the question header on the dashboard. To access the raise your hand feature, simply click on the hand icon that's located on the left side of the GoToWebinar dashboard. I will then unmute your line and you'll be able to ask your question verbally. All questions regarding the presentation content will be held until the end of the presentation from President Mary-Lynn West-Moynes, where we will open for Q&A. Please be aware of any background noise should you wish to ask your question verbally. I would now like to hand over to the OCASA Executive Director, Erin Roberts, for opening remarks. Erin?
Thanks very much, AJ. You've been introduced to both myself and AJ. I'm the Executive Director, and AJ is hosting this production, and he'll be managing the Q&A. So welcome to the next event in OCASA's virtual conference series. Today, our guest, Dr. West-Moynes, is going to be giving us an outlook for 2021, and we're going to be celebrating the accomplishments of several administrators who are leading and distinguished and are being honored today with awards. I'd like to introduce Michelle Cole. Michelle Cole is going to be your host today. She is a Vice President and Director of OCASA. She's also the Director of Academic Quality at Centennial College. Over to you, Michelle.
Hi, thank you, Erin, and thanks everyone. I'm excited to be here today. A little bit nervous, but happy to be doing this, and looking forward to today's event. And I have the pleasure of starting with a welcome to Dr. West-Moynes. And if we want, we can move ahead. So again, as AJ had mentioned, just to ask questions and whatnot, please use the question header on the GoToWebinar dashboard and type in your questions. So I've known Mary-Lynn for a while now, and I'm excited to introduce her. Thank you again for coming. Mary-Lynn's the president of Georgian College and the vice chair of the Committee of Presidents. She served as the VP External Relations at UOIT, known as Ontario Tech University. That's where I had the pleasure of meeting and working with her. She's also a former president at Mohawk College. As president of Georgian, she's added 30 new market-driven diplomas and graduate certificates, forged a dynamic partnership with Lakehead University, and opened a new advanced technology center at the Barrie campus of Georgian College. Georgian right now is the only changemaker college in Canada designated by Ashoka U. Centennial's hoping to be the next, recognizing the college's leadership in social innovation and higher education. It's wonderful, and we're going to learn a lot from you. Also, Mary-Lynn is the chair of the TELUS Community Board in Barrie and a member of the Southwestern Integrated Fiber Technology Network. So thank you, and off to you, Mary-Lynn.
That's great. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Somebody just nod on my group there. That's fantastic. Let me just begin by saying I'm delighted to be with you today, and I just want to add my congratulations to all of you for being a part of this organization. It demonstrates to me how much commitment and dedication you have to students in the Ontario college sector. It wasn't that long ago when I was a member of OCASA, and I always valued the benefit of learning from my colleagues. We have a stellar group of leaders to be recognized today, each one of the nominees so very impressive in your own way, and I believe the fact that your peers nominated you says so much about you and your impact. So congratulations to all of our nominees, and I wish you well. As Vice Chair of the Committee of Presidents, I've been asked to talk about the current priorities for our college sector and to have just a little bit of look into 2021 and beyond. By the way, I'm calling 2021 the year of hope. Although we seem to be at the precipice of the pandemic, with sheer human will and vaccine strategy underway, I feel much more confident that we'll overcome this difficult period in our lives. And I think it's going to be this year. So let's take a look at the current landscape. In many ways, much of 2021 will be a continuation of the many changes that we experienced last year due to the global pandemic. I don't need to tell you this, you know that. Everyone at our colleges has done an outstanding job. I've never seen the system pull together as they have for this, and I know that at my college, like yours, you've all found ways to be innovative, to ensure we continue to deliver high quality programs while protecting the health and safety of our students and every single person on our campuses. Not once, but over and over and over again, as we've all worked to sort of manage the puts and pull as we've understood more about the pandemic, and of course, as the realities of our operations cause us to continue to make changes. I like to say one of the positive outcomes is that we're all getting great experience in crisis management and contingency planning. Let me move to the current landscape a little bit more. This year, I feel that our advocacy efforts have looked into making sure that we are collaborating and working with the government to make sure the government makes informed decisions throughout the pandemic. And this hasn't been easy, as many of you know, but we've had some great outcomes and some significant results in the sector. So working with colleges and Institute Canada, we were able to persuade the federal government to implement changes that allow international students who can't enter Canada to study online and still be eligible for work permits. Of course, many of you would have been involved in getting the designation so that we could also accept students from other countries and ensure that they were following Ontario's pandemic requirements. Our advocacy has convinced the government to exempt students in our healthcare programs from the class size limits for in-class instructions. As we know to date, and I believe this is current, that no one individual has been affected by the transmission of COVID on our campuses to date. So basically, colleges are a safe place to be as long as individuals are following our protocols. As well, we'll continue to work with the government on possible measures to encourage more students to enroll in the personal support worker programs that some of you would have been involved. We've been working with the Ministry of Health, and hopefully we'll be in a situation to be able to increase quite rapidly the number of individuals who are studying in the personal support worker program, so we can graduate more to meet the needs, not just in healthcare, but also in residents that house many of individuals who have other issues, like those who have special needs and mental health considerations. We've also continued to provide input to the Ontario government on its planning for the province's recovery. And here's where hope fits in. We are going to recover. And over this past summer, we engaged in the minister's ongoing consultation on modernization in higher education. I believe there were 11 calls over the summer period where most of the majority of presidents, vice presidents, and others had input into a number of strategic issues. Our input helped to drive some of the government's decisions. For example, in the government's fall budget, for a new funding for micro-credential retaining programs was announced. And for the first time ever, that included funding for colleges that was specifically for micro-credential programs. The government also identified the public colleges as leaders in the expansion of micro-credentials retraining, which will be key, I believe, in getting our economy going again. As well, many of the pillars in the government's new $50 million virtual learning strategy are based on recommendations from the colleges. This included recommendations related to college resources and the training for faculty and students alike. Some of you are probably working on these strategies now, and I hope we'll be able to make some considerable gains with this initiative to continue to move our digitization strategies forward. Well, let's look on a little bit. Election fever will be in the air this year. There are rumblings we could see a federal election as early as this spring. That election could be triggered by the opposition parties voting against something that the federal government puts forward, such as their budget or some other, quote, confidence item. Or the Liberal government may simply choose to trigger an election themselves, because right now, as we know, Prime Minister Trudeau could simply ask the Governor General to dissolve Parliament so he can seek a new mandate. Rumors that the government might seek an election are fueled by the polls that show that the Liberals have a healthy lead, along with the fact that the new Conservative leader, Erin O'Toole, is still relatively unknown. While a provincial election isn't expected for at least 12 months, provincial politics will soon start transitioning into campaign mode. Campaign teams will be hired and policy development will shift from work that the government does in collaboration with civil service to ideas that are generated by campaign teams and their political advisors. For colleges and others, that means recommendations to government have to emphasize ideas that are relevant to voters and the parties that they lead, so that, I didn't say that right, but they have to be relevant to voters and also to the party itself, the party's platform itself, so that it could maybe help them win the support of other voters. This will be key, as all sectors will be working to take the spotlight from health, of course, at the right time. You know, there's no doubt right now it is correct that our entire whole strategy is ensuring that we are all looking to making sure that we are healthy and safe. But there will come a time when we need to shift back to a more balanced approach for society, managing the tax spend, and also making sure that people understand the important role that colleges play in our economic recovery as well as workforce development. If there is a federal election this year, we should pay attention to issues that could create new opportunities for colleges. Just a couple of examples. Climate change will be an issue in the campaign. This will be heightened in importance as Biden administration moved yesterday to recommit to tackle climate change and stop the Keystone Pipeline. While much of the focus in the campaign will be on carbon taxes, the parties may also look at other opportunities to reduce carbon in Canada. And this could include new investments in capital repairs to improve energy efficiency, and also it might generate the opportunity for training or retraining of workers that are either in the workforce or want to enter into the workforce to support greener measures in the construction and other areas. You know, another thing the parties will be focused on is ideas to promote economic recovery. This is likely to include, as I already said, about the environment retraining programs, but now more focused on unemployed workers or individuals who need retraining to continue to provide more meaningful input in their work environment. Also, we'll need to relook at funding for apprenticeship and try to make sure that the college sector is well positioned as leaders in that arena, which, as you know, includes a different ministry for us now. We are required to have almost a two-pronged approach to advocating for the college sector on the MCU side, and then also for skills development and apprenticeship on Minister McNaughton's current new ministry. In 2021, colleges will have to work with government and political parties to address the longer-term implications of the pandemic. While the pandemic affected our enrollment levels and tuition revenues in 2021, it's expected the impact will be more pronounced as the decline works its way through subsequent years. The government's provided some emergency support, as well the surpluses from international enrollment provided a buffer in the short term and prevented the government, frankly, from seeing the college as a sector in need right now. The greater funding challenge will be over the long term. This will be a priority for our dealings with government in 2021. In the years that follow, our capability to reclaim international enrollment will be a significant factor on whether or not we need to rely on the government to assist us in sustainability looking forward. This year, we'll also see colleges through the Committee of Presidents collaborate on a new strategic plan for the sector. The plan will set strategic priorities and goals for the next 3 years, starting in 2021. While that work is still in progress, there are some areas we can anticipate will be among the priority goals, and that includes work in areas such as expansion of micro-credential retraining and greater emphasis on virtual learning. Just a few points on funding here. As previously mentioned, the college sector's financial challenge will also continue to be a priority looking forward. We've recently asked the VPs of Finance and many others in the sector have been compiling data on the impact of the pandemic, both the lost revenue and added costs. Our immediate goal will be for presidents to meet online with ministers and MPPs to pitch recommendations for government's upcoming 2021 budget. And in fact, I participated on one of those meetings this morning. It was a last minute thing. We got a call yesterday to see if I could talk to an MPP with 2 other presidents in Ottawa in order to make sure that every MPP in Ontario is aware of our potential moving forward and some of the challenges that we have. We're also working closely with the Ministry of Colleges and Universities to create a process for doing a deeper dive into the long-term implications. And as you know, key performance indicators will take a huge role as we move forward on our funding agenda. So it's really critical that we are on top of the transition from pandemic back into much more normal operations. Another priority that has been discussed quite extensively will be the expansion of degree programs at all colleges. We achieved an important milestone last year when Colleges and University Minister Ross Romano announced that colleges now have the option to offer standalone nursing degree programs. I can't tell you how excited I was when that announcement finally happened. It's a huge improvement, particularly in communities where students are currently forced to travel to another city to complete the university portion of their program, but also it's a sign of the maturation of the college sector, and rightly so. There is no reason that we should not be able to do as good as and probably better at providing the kind of degree experience that a student needs in order to become a nurse in society today. We've begun asking for greater autonomy over our programs and credentials as a result of this success. And that was one of the big pushes this morning when we were talking to the Member of Parliament. We wanted to reinforce that there's too much bureaucracy as we launch new programs, and it doesn't allow us to flex and move the way we need to in order to be responsible to society. We're looking at possible creation of master's programs in specialized areas such as robotics, cybersecurity, and animation. These will have to be differentiated and, of course, occur in a way that is unique from universities. But, you know, we have so much to offer, and our connections with business and industry will enable that, I believe. Let me continue by talking a little bit more about micro-credentials. It's clear that the provincial budget tabled last year is that the government expects colleges to play a central role in the expansion of these retaining programs. And quite honestly, the government's trying to work their way through it themselves, how these will move forward, and have adopted a number of our recommendations. But I think colleges are still working hard to build a framework for this in a meaningful way. And I think we can just all expect to see more work in this area as the government moves to try and have a quick recovery to our economy. Virtual learning, something that's near and dear to my heart, is a priority this year. The government's budget last year included the announcement of a 50 million virtual learning strategy run by eCampus Ontario, and many of you would know that many of your colleagues in your camp colleges right now are working on that, and hopefully we will see the decisions to get that money out into the sector by the end of March. I know that's the commitment. Expanding access also has to have a new look, I think, as a society. One of the strengths of colleges is the role we play in that field, and we've always provided a strong emphasis on providing access to quality programs for people whose families have traditionally been underrepresented in higher education. This pandemic has only increased the need for that, and especially as we've seen the pandemic impacting the less advantaged in our society more than others. Living outside of the GTA, I can tell you, in addition to social factors, we also need to worry about leveraging more internet capability in Ontario as an access agenda. So just as I wrap up, let's quickly look at next steps. The Committee of Presidents is in the throes of strategic planning. In fact, next week, we have 2 virtual meetings, just taking a good look at what we've done in past years, what the gaps are, and trying to crystal ball what we need to do, both in the short term, but maybe on a 3-year horizon, to get ourselves back to where I know we're going to be once we recover from the pandemic. If you get a chance, be a part of this, because the Committee of Presidents or Colleges Ontario strategic plan really sets COP's agenda and the advocacy work we do. It helps shape what opinion is shared with our stakeholders and government, and of course it helps to make sure that we are moving forward to make a meaningful impact for individuals in our society. You know, if I step back and think about it, we're so just fortunate to be a part of this great Ontario college system that does this absolutely every single day. And that's because you, as leaders, and others at each of your colleges are making an incredible difference. So just in closing, let me say, keep up the great work that you're all doing. Be safe and choose kindness. And Michelle, I'm happy to answer any questions, or I guess that's CJ.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary Lynn. That was pretty remarkable in terms of you know, what we I think have heard, and what we're looking forward to. Lots of development for the college sector, and lots of work. I think you know, just gauging from the information you provided and your insights, I think we should have a few questions. So I'm not monitoring the chat, but AJ is, so let me know, AJ, if there's any questions out there.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Dr. Westmoyles. As I predicted, your presentation was such a well-rounded presentation covering pretty much everything that people could have questions for. We don't have any questions at the moment. However, I would invite anyone that's on this call, if they do have a question for Dr. Westmoyles, if they can send them into the office by close of business on Friday, I'll be sure to pass any on to Dr. Westmoyles on Monday, and we will try to get them answered as soon as possible. If you have those questions, the email address is info@ocasa.on.ca, and as I said, I'll be happy to pass them on. Actually, Dr. Westmoyles, looks like we have one question. I will open it up. Dan, you are now unmuted, but you are self-muted. If you could unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Mary Lynn. Dan Holland here. You're looking well.
Hi, Dan. Nice to hear your voice.
Well, too. Just a quick question, Mary Lynn. Your best guesstimate on colleges resuming on-campus delivery this fall of 21.
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball, so it will be a best guess. Ontario's published plan is that most of us will be offered the vaccine by July, August, and September. So I'm actually predicting that the fall will be a hybrid operation, maybe with a little bit less online remote activity that's going on. And that we'll be cautious as a society in coming back to some of our previous approaches. Although, we're all collecting data, Dan, and most students are telling us that they're grateful that we're continuing. They appreciate this is the world we're living in, but they like that people contact. They want to be with others in a learning classroom. So my guess is in the fall, it will still be remote with more hybrid activity, and that will start to lessen the remote in the winter. And for my vote is that, we don't totally go back to where we are, that we take what we've learned from this incredible opportunity to take all those great objects and move to leveraging digitization to enhance and expand learning, so students can practice more remotely and they have an opportunity to work at their own pace for learning. So I'm not too hopeful for the fall, Dan. I'm very hopeful for the winter.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you. I didn't expect anything else. No crystal balls, but thanks very much. I really appreciate your talk.
And Dan, just let me say thanks to you for the great work that you're doing in development for so many of our leaders.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Dan. I will ask one further question, and then any other questions that come in, I will submit to you on Monday, Dr. Westmoynes. We have one here. First of all, thank you for your insights, Mary-Lynn. Do you have any ideas about how we might work on environmental scans for the changing landscape of employer needs, available new and unexpected job types where reskilling might be needed?
Great question. And just let me underscore, data is so important. What I know now is that, of course, most of our communities are working very closely with our local employers. And so I would be looking to municipalities, regional governments, to see what kind of work they are doing. But you know what, that's a good question. And every time I talk to a group of leaders, I get something, AJ. So I'm gonna take that back to the Committee of Presidents and say, is there something as a sector we could be doing to get a better handle on this very question? So I'm not sure who asked the question, but kudos to you and getting a better outlook. I suspect Linda, who has a great relationship with the Chamber of Commerce, will reach out to them, as we will with our government partners. But I think that's the key question. Locally, we know there's so much change in so many different work environments that there's a lot that we could do to help different business and industry manage that change. But collectively, I don't have a good sense on what that data is telling us. And AJ, just let me close by saying, I'm not Dr. Westmoynes, I'm Mary Lynn. Nobody around here, a Georgian, refers to me that way. And so now that we've done this together, we're on first name basis, okay?
That's the military training beating over my head. So I will endeavor to remember that. Over to you, Michelle.
Well, yeah, thank you. And well, Mary Lynn, and I've been calling you Mary Lynn, I think, for a long time now. So I really do appreciate, we all do, your presentation, your insight, and your valuable time today. I know it's busy for everyone, and for you to take this time with us is certainly appreciated. So thank you, and enjoy. I hope you're staying on the call. And yeah, I guess we can move on. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
So yeah, on to the awards. This is really exciting for everyone on the call. It's such an amazing time, and I'm gonna go over this really quickly. Although we're on schedule, which is wonderful. so we have a little bit of time. Yeah, the awards this year, as always, we have the Emerging Leader, the Distinguished Administrator. We have our CMU OCASA Outstanding Research Award and the Doug Light Lifetime Achievement Award. So one thing I wanted to point out, and we have a couple of slides here, the number of submissions this year was remarkable. I think it has something to do with the fact that this is not a normal year. I think we're all working hard and we all do amazing things, but this year of COVID has really brought out the best in all of us. And I think as leaders, we've all recognized the hard work and dedication that's gone into continuing education for the students. And so I do believe that, again, people were just like, okay, if no other year, this is the one. Although next year, I expect that we're going to be getting as many submissions again. So yeah, I appreciate everyone taking the time to nominate your colleagues. And just to go over the process really quickly again. So we receive nominations to the awards committee. We put that call out and the nominations come in. The awards committee reviews all of the nominations and makes a recommendation to the OCASA board, who receives and reviews, and just to make sure that there are no conflicts. Yeah, and that's basically the process. And then we have this wonderful celebration, normally in person, which is a lot more fun, but this will do for 2020, 2021, and we'll see what comes for next year. So the process here is that I will introduce the award, I'll read the list of nominees, present the winner, and the winner will have a minute or two to say a few words. So on to the first award, which is the Emerging Leader Award. Now, this award recognizes administrators who are newer to the system, to the management, and positively influence the college through their leadership. They have respect for their colleagues, and they have attributes as initiators, team players, learners, collaborators, and community builders. So the list of nominees, here they are. And, you know, couple of colleagues of mine on the list, and so I'll try to be, you know, considerate of everyone. Danny Amarua, manager of analytics at the Centennial College. I'm very excited about this one. Penny Dockrell, who is the manager of HR at Algonquin College. We have Jenny Heyman at Cambrian College, who is the chair of teaching and learning. Chris Jackman, chair of arts and design at Centennial College. Kelly Kwan, senior manager at Sheridan College. We have Danielle Mercier, who is a chair of business at Seneca. June Raymond, who's the dean of health and science, nursing and emergency at Cambrian College. Christy Sheffel, who's a financial analyst at Georgian College. And Chris Varney, who's manager of safety and emergency planning at Georgian. So I'm happy to announce that Penny Dockrell, who's the manager at Algonquin College, has won this award. Congratulations, Penny. Oh, and there's the award. And Penny, I think this is fun. It's the virtual awards. I do enjoy this. Thank you, AJ.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you, AJ, for all of your help throughout this whole process. You've been great. And I would also say that I've been exceptionally fortunate to, I'm not only alumni at Algonquin College, but I was on some program advisory committees. So I've been involved with Algonquin College since about 1999. And I'm lucky that my daughter is now attending. So it's almost like coming full circle. I've been exceptionally fortunate in the people that I get to work with and the HR team at the college, and then all of the people that I get to work with across the college. So the collaboration, the respect, the I think this wanting to make each other successful and make the college successful. So I've been exceptionally fortunate to have that experience. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Penny, and congratulations again. So the next award is for the Distinguished Administrator Award, and this award recognizes administrators who have distinguished administrative performance demonstrating outstanding leadership and excellence of performance. The nominees for this award, again, we have several. Brent Brownlee, who's a director at Algonquin College. We have Sandra Faber, who's Associate Dean in the School of Community Studies at Fanshawe, Mary Johnston, who's the Director of Continuing Education at Georgian College, Kathy O'Brien, who's the Senior Vice President of Strategy, Communications and Advancement at St. Lawrence, Corey Ross, who's the VP Academic at George Brown College, and Sue Wells, Dean of Teaching, Learning and Scholarship at Centennial College. And the winner is Sue Wells. Sorry, I'm not advancing my own slides. Sue Wells. Sue Wells. I'm not going to cry, Sue. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I have to say that I'm incredibly honored and really humbled. Sorry, detoured by the camera. Really honored and humbled to receive this award. And it's really amongst a stellar group of nominees, many of who I have met over the years. I have to say, there's a special place in my heart for this award being from OCASA. It really does mean a lot to me. I respect the work that OCASA has done for college administrators since it began in 1996. I really do remember the years prior to its existence and really feeling isolated and that there was a lack of support in the system. So OCASA has done a wonderful job of creating a network of administrators that really feel connected, supported, and that we can learn from each other. So I think they've done such an incredible job, and being recognized by OCASA therefore is very special to me. It's also incredibly rewarding to be recognized by my Associate Vice President, Dr. Gina Marshall, who submitted the nomination, which was also supported by fellow chair, Jen Woodall, and long-term faculty member at the college, Erin Wallace. That those people thought that I deserved this award is truly humbling. I have to tell you, I love my current role with the college, and I loved being a chair. I'm really lucky to have worked in an environment like Centennial College. It's really provided me with the opportunity to innovate, try new things, and has supported me through both my successes and my failures. Centennial's got a great culture of developing leadership, not by positions, but within everyone in the college. So I'm really grateful to have reported to people who have encouraged me to develop my leadership capabilities. Some of those people, like Dr. Rahim Kareem, Dr. Marilyn Harry, Dr. Gina Marshall, I think might be on the call, but I'm particularly thankful for Dr. Marilyn Harry, who has mentored me, inspired me, and yes, pushed me to push myself outside my comfort zone and try things that I didn't think I really could do. I really just considered my approach to administration to be fairly simple. I always just try to lead by my values and help those make my decisions and guide my actions. I really try to just treat others as I would want to be treated. So I'm really lucky that Centennial has provided me with the opportunity to do just that. That this simple approach has led to my receiving this award is very special to me. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Sue. It's wonderful. I'm so happy. Okay, so on to the next. I have the honor here of introducing my friend and colleague, Caleb Patrick from CMU. He's the Director of Graduate Programs, and he is going to make the announcement and hand out the CMU OCASA Outstanding Research Award.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that very much. And you can see by the photo that COVID has had an impact on me, as it has many people, I'm sure. But that attempt at humor is well placed in relation to our Outstanding Research Award winner this afternoon. More importantly, I welcome you from the friendly confines of Rao Hall on CMU's main campus in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. On behalf of President Robert O. Davies, Provost Dr. Mary Scutton, and the Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, Dr. Paula Lancaster, I would like to thank you for your attendance today. I would also like to recognize Tisa Thompson, Assistant Director of International Programs, and Dan Holland, MA in Education Advisor, both who are here today and are part of the CMU ecosystem. I also do want to say and point out that Michelle Cole is a past Outstanding Research Award winner to give some credence to the type of individuals that have won this award in the past. The partnership between OCASA and CMU began over 15 years ago. This prestigious award in specific was first conceived and delivered in 2009 and recognizes excellence in research and contributions to the field of post-secondary education in Ontario. As the 12th recipient of this award, Allison joins a distinguished list of past award winners. CMU as an institution was founded in 1892 and has grown over the years into a Carnegie designated high research activity R2 institution serving over 20,000 students, including the 137th College of Medicine in North America. We have almost a 45-year history of service to Ontario by delivering the Master of Arts degree in education. But maybe most importantly to many of our alum, especially on campus, we have a Division I football team that just missed out on a bowl game this year. The Master of Arts degree in education from CMU focuses on developing administrators, student affairs professionals, and faculty specifically within the Ontario college system. As a Master of Arts degree, a special emphasis is placed on that applied-based research. The nominees for this award this year are Rachel Diornelis, SPA assistant for George Brown College, Carol Valentine Fleck, professor at Mohawk College, Claudia Malad, manager of cooperative education and employer partnerships at University of Guelph, Allison Menegoni, peer mentor liaison and professor at Fanshawe College, and Judith Jocelyn, professor and coordinator of office administration at Mohawk College. With that, it is my pleasure, and it's extra special for me because I consider Allison not only to be a proud, successful alum and a colleague, but also as a close friend. And as Susie told me, or excuse me, as Milo told Susie, even the most disappointing subjects can be funny. Allison's findings prove that statement to be true. I would like to congratulate Allison on winning this prestigious award for her study titled, "So This Funny Thing Happened to Me on the Way to Class," a study on humor, student-teacher immediacy, and the perceived teacher efficacy. Please welcome me in congratulating Allison Menegoni on winning this year's CMU OCASA Outstanding Research Award.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Allison.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Caleb. Good afternoon, everyone. I am so honored to be receiving the 2020 CMU OCASA Outstanding Research Award. When I started deeply exploring how and why college instructors chose to use humor as a teaching tool in their classrooms, I had absolutely no idea that my study was going to take me to some very unexpected places and just how serious a topic humor in teaching truly is. Now, most existing studies on humor in higher education that I looked at for my lit review presented perspectives almost exclusively from the point of view of the student, but not of the college instructor. And it appeared to me that as an area of scholarly inquiry, the operationalization of humor in higher education had been grossly underinvestigated, predominantly because of a pervasive stigma that it is subject matter knowledge and expertise that makes a professor superior, certainly not comedic ability. But this was in complete contrast to my lived experience as full-time faculty for 8 years at Fanshawe College. And so I decided to dive in. And the findings of my study led me to conclude that an instructor's inclusion of humor in their pedagogy is a powerful transmission tool indeed. It creates learning climates conducive to higher levels of instructor enjoyment, richer student-teacher relations, and higher levels of perceived teaching efficacy. And although my capstone topic was fairly unconventional, my research proposal was met with unreserved enthusiasm from my inspiring advisor, Dr. Caleb Patrick. And winning this award would not have been possible without Caleb's belief first in the merit of humor in higher ed as a relevant research topic, and second, in his unflagging belief in my ability to effectively research it. So I thank Dr. Patrick so much for helping pave the way for me to be here in this moment accepting this award. And I also want to thank my Associate Dean, Sandra Fieber, here today from Fanshawe College, fellow award nominee, who supported me wholeheartedly as I embarked upon my Master of Arts in Education degree with CMU. So thank you so much, Central Michigan University and the Ontario College Administrative Staff Association for this wonderful award. I'm immensely grateful.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Allison, and congratulations. Yes, I again was extremely pleased when I won the award. It's really something else to be recognized for all of the work. It's remarkable, and congratulations. I'm going to see if I can't get a copy of that of your paper. It's okay.
Yeah, $5. That's all you need.
$5. Okay, that's easy. I'll send it via e-transfer.
Perfect. We'll make the arrangements afterwards.
Excellent. Good stuff. Okay, so we're making really good time here, I have to say, and thanks again, everyone. So we're on to the next award here, the Doug Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, this award, named in 2013, pays a specific tribute to an administrator within the Ontario college system who has significantly influenced college education throughout his or her career, demonstrating leadership, contribution to others, and outstanding performance. The nominees this year, we had 3, and we had Marianne Byfield, who is the VP Academic and Quality at Georgian College, Marilyn King, who's the Dean of Health and Community Services at Sault College, and Diane McCutcheon, VP HR at Algonquin College. And happy to congratulate Diane McCutcheon. Congratulations on receiving this prestigious award. Thank you, AJ. Diane?
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Just going to share my webcam. It is such an honor to receive the Doug Light Lifetime Achievement Award. This award to me is a symbol of the important work that all college administrators contribute to the Ontario college system. Having proudly served Algonquin College for 31 years, 26 of those years as an Ontario college administrator, I have witnessed many changes in the system, all of which are inspiring and engaging. The commitment to our learners is steadfast and enduring, and I would like to extend my congratulations to my fellow nominees and award winners in each of the categories. There is so much talent in our system. I am humbled and privileged to work alongside of all of you. A personal thanks to Krista Pearson, Registrar at Algonquin College, for nominating me for this prestigious award. And finally, my sincere thanks to OCASA for hosting this virtual award ceremony and continuing the tradition of celebration of excellence of the administrative staff of all of our colleges. Thanks again. Stay safe and be well, everyone.
Thank you so much, Diane. And I'm just going to take another minute to, and we can all air clap. Congratulations to all of the award nominees and winners. Again, this year we had an outstanding group, so there were over 18 nominations, and or about 18 nominations. And once again, just want to thank all those who took the time to submit those nominations this year. Again, it's been a tremendous activity and event, and looking forward to next year. So just on with the agenda for today, and a couple of quick little announcements, and we'll be all done. The conference, as you know, has been turned into a virtual. And we've had some amazing, so far this fall, we've had some amazing presentations, lots of participation too, which has been great to see. So upwards of 60 participants at each of our presentations thus far, and looking forward to what's coming up this winter. So in February on the 24th, we have the Chair Summit. So if you haven't registered, please consider doing so. Chairs, associate deans, and academic managers are welcome to participate, and this should be a great event. On March 25th, we're looking at a presentation by Caleb at CMU on anti-racism and the role of post-secondary education. May 11th, Secrets to Career Satisfaction with Laurie Sansi, who is the principal of Laurie Sansi and Associates. And another special treat here, Ken Steele is coming out to deliver some information and insights on post-secondary on April 20th. So that should be another, it's a great series for our winter and spring. And I hope you all plan to register and participate. Again, just as a reminder that our virtual conference sessions are free for OCASA members. And we also have the mentorship program, which is now live. So if you are thinking about becoming a mentor or looking for guidance and thinking that being part of this session or this opportunity as a mentee, please reach out to AJ. We're happy to register you. And also looking for new membership, of course, always. So talk this up with your colleagues. It is a great organization. I've been a member since 2011 and have really enjoyed it. So again, just contact us through the info@ocasa.on.ca. And finally, just we want to thank everyone again for participating today. So Caleb for attending, Dr. West Moynes, yeah, Mary Lynn, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really do appreciate hearing from the president's perspective. All of the winners and nominees, those who took the time to nominate their colleagues, to all of you for participating today. We had a great turnout, about 80 people, and looking forward to next year's awards. So thank you so much and enjoy your afternoon.